what's it like being a triplet? Well,
I mean, it's sort of weird at first. People thought that Maya and Isla were twins, and then I was sort of there, which is totally fine by me. I'm gonna be honest. I really don't like being grouped with my siblings. Um, I think that being labeled as a group is sort of odd. I think it makes me like lack my own individuality. Like I really want to be my own person, especially in high school. If you're being deprived of your own sense of self, then that sort of sucks. But I don't really blame people. I think that being a triplet is it's normal for me because it's all that I know, obviously. But I think that um, I don't want it to be like a defining characteristic of like who I am, and I don't think it really has been. And I have some of my siblings in my classes, like Spencer knows that, and like that's cool and all. We can go over homework together and talk about stuff, and it's cool to speak with them because, like, if you have like older siblings, you can't really connect with them and talk about like social stuff at school. But since my sisters are in the same grade as me, we know everything. Like we all have like mutual understandings of stuff when it comes to like social life and academics that it's all really easy. It's like having two extra friends in your own grade that are with you 24/7, and that comes with its pros and cons.
Yeah, but what is it like having two, I guess, like really, really close siblings? Or
Yeah, I mean, it's a little strange. I think that I've never really felt lonely. There's always something to do, always someone to hang out with, and if they don't want to hang out, there's always someone to nag. Um, Especially in like the early years when we didn't really have lots of homework, we just like do random kid stuff, go outside, play sports, make little iMovie things, like do whatever
yeah,
we really wanted, and that that really like propelled like my own self discovery in a way that's more profound that I don't really want to get into. But yeah.
yeah,
yeah, I think it's really interesting that you bring up like this sense of like individuality and like not want to be labeled as like a triplet. Um, how has music played a part in that and becoming a musician and like is that one of the reasons you got into music?
I think that the role that they play in the music that I make is pretty large. I pass every single song that I make through Maya, and she's really blunt with me. She's really honest. She doesn't really sugarcoat a lot. I have some friends that don't really sugarcoat a lot, but she really just gives it to me straight. If she thinks that a song sucks, she'll literally like beat me to a pulp, and that's great because I think it's important to have someone who won't really like BS you when it comes to stuff like that. But yeah, they've been supportive in all ways that they can, but at the same time, they always make sure to keep it real with me, and that's something that's like really valuable.
And how did you get into music to just start with?
Um, like honestly, sort of thought it would be cool. It was like a cool thing to do. I started getting into music in eighth grade. People don't really want to admit this, but anyone who gets into like making like music, especially like rap music in middle and high school, just does it because of the attention that you might get. And that's how it sort of started out for me. In like eighth grade, I was like, oh, if I make a really dope rap song that everyone really likes, I'm going to make a ton of friends. But it's sort of shifted from that to being more about who am I making music for? That's the question that I always ask. Am I making it for other people, or am I making it for myself? And then over time, it sort of shifted from making it for other people and for other people to enjoy to being more of a therapeutic tool that'll just help me out. And most stuff I make doesn't get released, and it's just sort of for myself. And it's just sort of shifted as a way to get attention and have people like me to having me like myself. And I'm pretty proud of that.
do your parents support you in your music?
I have Asian parents. My father's Indian, my mother's Korean. So like when I would show them my music, or actually I didn't actually want to show them my music. I think my sisters sort of like snitched on me. They thought it was something fun to do, fine by me. But that happened and they didn't really like the swearing, which I totally understand. But I think that over time, the swearing has become like less and less, as not only because I want to get into college, but also because I just think it's a little unnecessary. And
Yeah.
they think it's cool. Like they think it's fine to have like a passion, but like there's no way that they think I'm actually going to follow through with this and make a career out of it. And that's not really the goal for me either.
Do you think that the swang is cut down as you've started making music more for yourself instead of other people?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that it was sort of like a crutch to write lyrics, and I would sort of use it to write lyrics that I thought were like easy to make and people would get excited about them. But then over time, lyrics started to become more
Or
about like what you see with most people making music who are like our age is like kids want to rap about stuff that they don't have and lives that they don't live. Like if you look at like Lil Tecca, like if you look at like those memes, this kid is talking about like flying across the border to France and having all these cars and guns and stuff, but he admits that he doesn't have any of that. And I see a lot of like cap in a lot of people's rap, but I'm also guilty of like doing that in the early stages of making music, but over time it's become more of a just much more personal, and I think that it's made me a better musician overall.
Yeah. You mentioned Lil Tecca right there. Who have been some of your inspirations in making music?
um I think that most of the people who inspire me are more like local artists who were in like New York and Connecticut, like people like Red Veil, Mike, Navy Blue, Earl Sweatshirt, like people who don't really like rap, but it's more like spoken word over like distorted beats that they all produce themselves. I take a lot. I take a lot of pride in producing my own stuff, so I've started to do some of that. But they're the ones who sort of inspired me to make that move and take that leap from making music that's for the club to making music that's like for myself and for people to just sit down and listen to and enjoy.
Yeah. So clearly you have a deep understanding of music. Clearly, you live in music. Music clearly is a passion for you. And Nick and I know that you've started the podcast with two friends discussing music. So just tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. So over quarantine last summer, like June 2020, I had an idea to start a club at this school, which was like a book club, but for music. Like you have an album to listen to for the entire week. And at the end of the week, you would listen to, not listen to it, but you would talk about it in a Socratic seminar or Harkness type way. And I thought that was a super cool idea. And it's sort of like dissolved towards the beginning of the school year. But I thought, I have two friends who I haven't really spoken to in a long time. One of them goes to the American school in Japan, and the other one goes to the American school in Johannesburg in South Africa. And as it's really hard to coordinate time zones and stuff like that. But we recorded our first episode in June, where we were talking about the Black Lives Matter movement and the music that has sort of how music has evolved and how music has changed because of that. And from there, we started doing album reviews. We did some throwback album reviews. We did interviews of artists. And yeah, it's just been really, really fun because I'm able to play out that dream of having that book club type experience. And not only that, but we get to share that with others. And I get to explore new music. My friends get to explore new music. And the dynamic is there. Like we've been chatting about music since like elementary, middle school. And just to have that in a more, like a more controlled environment where we could bounce ideas off of each other in a Harkness like format. And I don't know, I just really enjoy it. I think that it's helped me branch out my own music taste as well as theirs. And it's just been one constant throughout this crazy period that I've had in my life. Ever since June of 2020, we've recorded and posted an episode every single week. Maybe we took like one break, and we're up to almost 30 episodes. So
Wow.
yeah, it's been fun.
But yeah, I guess if you want to, I guess like promote it or something,
Yeah.
feel free.
I mean, yeah, I mean, it's called DNC Reviews. If you just look that up on YouTube, it should come up. People who know me know that I promote that like religiously on my Instagram. It might be really annoying, but I don't really care. And yeah, if you just look up DNC reviews on YouTube, we're also on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon if you're into that. I don't really know if you are,
Yeah.
but we're
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
And yeah, they're usually like 15, 20-minute episodes, and we do one every single week. So
Wow, that's awesome.
yeah, there you have it.
Arjun, we just want to say like thank you so much for coming on here.
Thank you very much.
Of course, thank you.
It's been some really great content, and we hope you have a great rest of the year, and we hope that your podcast and your music can continue growing.
Yeah, good luck.
Thanks, guys.